Yeah, I think now all of you can hear. So we are going to start the last Dhamma discussion of this Kalalgoda March retreat. So we have received a couple of reports or questions, and with that we will start the last Dhamma discussion. Yes.
Saranai Bhante, there are just 3 questions.
Right.
Sitting meditation. First, I feel the body and hear sounds. After some time, I feel more comfortable, but still feel the body. When I watch the thought, I recognize it before starting another thought. Today, I was able to stay whatever happening in outside.
Whatever happened in outside.
In outside. It wasn't an emptiness like yesterday. Even though I don't have any thought, I hear sounds, feel some sensation, but it is only just awareness. Walking meditation. As per the advice, I start to walk freely by watching the mind, but I realize it is challengeable. I have seen inner chatter starting after some time, so I focus to the body sensation and walk. Then after some time, I was able to walk by watching the mind. Theruvan Saranai.
Is it yours? Yeah, fine. So that's all right. Now, when we are walking and while keeping the mind not in a deep concentration, but in a kind of a shallow concentration, so appearance of thoughts is quite natural. So that's welcome in a way. So now in a way we are using this what we call the emptiness as a mechanism, as a baseline or as a reference to recognize various thoughts. And when we recognize those thoughts and we are not encouraging them, we can distinctly recognize them, we can objectively look at them, and simply we allow them to go. And where are we going back? Back to the emptiness. So that is where there is a very interesting kind of practice we are called as Patinissagganupassana. If you know that the Patinissagganupassana means, say, there are various these upcoming thoughts, there are various feelings or other distractions. So when we encounter them, we recognize them and simply let them go and then return back to this emptiness. So that Parichchaga Patinissagga means we are letting it go, abandoning it. And the Pakkandana Patinissagga means, so again we are resting back in the emptiness. So do it in a more relaxed manner. So it is not kind of forceful letting go, forceful abandonment. Rather you are simply walking in a more relaxed approach, in a relaxed mood. While you are doing that, various thoughts may come, various distractions may happen. You recognize them, no worry. You recognize them, and as a result of that, it may naturally fade away. And once it is gone, again you are back in the emptiness. Assume that probably another thought comes, doesn't matter. Same procedure, again and again you allow it to come, and you allow it to be, and allow it to go. And more mind become relaxed, and you feel more confident, because they are merely thoughts. You are not identifying with them, and you are not encouraging I according to them. Rather, you recognize they have the nature to come and go. So this is pure Vipassana. So you distinctly recognize one after the other how each and every thought are arising, how they are appearing, and how they are disappearing. And when they disappear, you are resting back in the emptiness. So right now the emptiness may be very short, doesn't matter. So that it will expand, slowly it will expand. So this is where you are, improving yourself, not making any kind of a tension out of the practice. Because sometimes when we are struggling, when we are, striving, when we are trying to abandon things by pushing away things, so that creates a little bit of tension. That is little artificial in a way. And we are very much forcefully letting go. But here what we are trying to do is we allow it to happen, and we are observing it objectively. We are not being deluded by it, and then slowly let it go. So, it's just do more walking, doesn't matter. More walking, and just relax while walking, and don't encourage thinking. So that's the most important thing. In all your day, now it's a matter of resting. Take a kind of a rest. Relax, and don't encourage any kind of too much thinking, and as much as possible allow the mind to take a rest. Then this state will slowly, you may familiarize with this state, because when the mind resting means, when mind is not encouraging any kind of thinking means, so it is now attuned to a kind of a state where kind of a subtle awareness is available. Some natural awareness is available, and it is a kind of an endowment. Later, it will become a kind of an endowment, as we discussed yesterday. It is not that purposely you are trying to generate, but it is there, something like that. So hope you got the point. Any problem, any issues? No,
Bante. When walking, when I just after start, if I walk by looking the mind, it's difficult. But if I watch the foot or some body sensation sometime, then I can start watching the mind.
Doesn't matter. I mean, say first, if you can't watch the mind, so that means still you need little bit more refinement into the mind, because still if you are not having enough mindfulness or enough clear comprehension, still it would be difficult to look at the mind immediately. Doesn't matter. So you be with your body and little sharpen your mindfulness and see how they are happening, the sensations, how they are happening. So this helps you to little sharpen the mindfulness, improve a little bit of clear comprehension. Then slowly look at the mind. It's like, sharpening the tools again, and then you are going back to the walk. Right.
Swamina Hansa, the emptiness, histhana and anishchita avastha are referring the same.
Very much. No, the thing is this. Now, at the beginning, you can't find a, completely purified state. Even though we are calling it emptiness or anishtita state, so they are not perfectly anishtita. They are not perfectly empty. So some shades of, say, sanya may be available. Some shades of feelings are available. And time to time thoughts are also coming. And sometimes thoughts are coming like in the background. They are not completely, may disappeared. So therefore this anisthita state, at the beginning what yogi experiences is not a kind of pure state. But it's a matter of further and further enhancing it. You are continuing the practice, then slowly that is, further strengthened. So you may understand at the beginning, okay, I got frequent disturbances. So this anisthita state being disturbed by various thoughts. Some thoughts are penetrating. Some are simply coming and, going away from the, like in the circumference, not coming in. But some are still penetrating. So likewise you may have a kind of an understanding. But later, as you are continuing, you may understand, okay, now it is little expanded. Previously it is very limited area, I have type of emptiness. But later it's expanding. Now the purity of the mind is also somewhat alright, somewhat good, better than before. And less perceptions, less sanya, images, mental images, etc. And less delusion. So you are not getting caught to various proliferations often. So likewise the improvements are happening. Then further and further this anisthita state is stabilizing, further strengthening, more purification. Therefore, how we start is very much like taking kind of a deep concentration. As a result of the deep concentration, we are having kind of a anisthita state. But as the concentration loosens, all things are coming back. So this is natural. Just continue the practice and do it in a more relaxed manner. Don't push yourself, and again don't neglect the practice also.
Yes.
Right.
What is this?
Shall I read?
Avasarai Swamin Vahanse, walking meditation. Didn't take long to establish the mind onto the sensation of the feet. The second point here. After a while, there were sensations of vibration in the face, especially in the teeth, along with the impact of feet onto the ground. As usual, felt the whole body as a loosely joined machine with a lot of fluid and sticks. sitting meditation. When I get to sense the breath, yawning sets in. The breath becomes very thin and a yawn explodes. After a yawn, there's a period of no breath. Why is this? Is it due to my sila? After you mentioned that we should lose at our bodily phenomena and started looking after the body, that somehow got the yawning stop. Day-to-day activities. Found some liking to watch the food and drinks slide down to the body. There was some joy in it too. Sound of the blood vein touching pillow with heart pulse.
I didn't get that. Sorry.
Sound of the blood vein touching the pillow with the pulse of the heart was heard before falling asleep at night. Pin Sidhu Veva.
May I know who has read me? Okay, good. So you have indicated some points, say this recognizing the pulse rate or the vibrations. So those are indicating that your attention is now fairly come back to the body. So more and more bodily sensations, as you said, understanding it's like a factory and different processes are going on. Very true. So that indicates, okay, now I am very much, the awareness is associating the body, the mind energy has collected to the body. So that's a good sign. Now, I mean, as much as possible, when you come to that level, so recognize some predominant or most prominent kind of sensation and see more closely how it is operating. It's like an experiment. Say you are keeping your attention there and you are looking closely with a little bit of curiosity, what's going on there? And you are recognizing what's really going on there. At the beginning, don't expect the full clear image. So, I mean, you simply glancing like. But later, assume that it disappeared and there's another sensation available. Now, again, you are keeping your attention there and try to investigate that. So, it's a kind of, you are sharpening the tools now. By doing this whole investigation itself, helping to sharpen the tools. Mindfulness is sharpened, the clear comprehension is sharpened, and slowly the knowledge or the insights are happening. So likewise, things are improving. Later you may get a different picture. At the beginning you get one picture, but later more information, more detail, more subtle aspects will happen. So any gray areas you still have?
Not specifically. I tend to like walking meditation more than sitting
That's
meditation.
No problem.
Yeah.
No problem at all.
Because sitting meditation always, I mean, at the very beginning, at the very start of the retreat,
right,
it was like I was half asleep in the first few sessions. But
right,
towards the evening, I got the hang of the breath. But soon as I got it, it was like extremely thinning and very minute breaths. But with that, actually, there's automatic yawning comes.
That's all
in.
right. That's also fine. So this yawning process indicates that mind is now resting. It is going through certain resting periods. You may recognize at the end of the session also, there may be several yawnings going to happen. It indicates, okay, now session has completed. Now it's a time to get up. So these are certain indications, very much like, say assume that it is like travel by a train. So when train passes a station, so you notice it. Another station you notice it, something like that. This yawning is something like that. So the mind is also going through kind of a refining process, becoming more and more refined, becoming more and more subtle. So one stage, one milestone is indicated using a yawning. But don't sleep.
Yes, it's a fully aware yawn actually.
Exactly.
It's start to end and to the next yawn also it's fully aware.
Good.
Yeah.
I mean, even tears might come.
Yeah,
doesn't matter. And even snoring can happen.
Yeah.
Remove everything. So actually, in a way, this is a kind of a healing process. So there may be some unnecessary fluid and everything somewhat accumulated in our, what's that called, nasals, no? Nasals and what's that? Sinus. So there may be an effect to that as well. So as we are continuing the practice, so they become somewhat purified, cleaned. So that also may have an indication. That's why I feel with yawning there is some snort coming and tears coming. That also can happen. They're very natural things. Not for everyone, by the way. I mean, it is not something general to everyone, but for some people it is happening.
After you indicated to look at other bodily phenomena, once your mind sets in, when I get other like pains and maybe other, sometimes I get the feel of pulse appearing in certain parts. So then actually I started investigating those. Put my focus into those. Then actually yawning just went away, disappeared.
Fine. I mean, after you stop that, again yawning can happen. So I mean, it indicates, okay, now it's settling. Now the episode is over. You have gone to the next episode with the yawning. Like opening the curtain, you are going to the next episode.
I was just wondering whether is it to do with some sila issue, happened long time ago or anything like that.
This the body is responding agreeable very much to the mind state. So when mind is settling, so body is also responding with the yawning. Yeah, that's all.
Last question.
Fine.
It's just a general question, Bhante. Dear Bhante, pardon my ignorance.
Sorry?
Pardon my ignorance. From the little I know of the Buddhist teaching, the Buddha did not want to be worshipped. Why then do people worship Buddhist monks? Is it not contradictory to the teaching? I would like to remain anonymous. Thank you.
No, actually, like this. It is not that Buddha objected worshipping or Buddha encouraged worshipping. So, I mean, people even during the Buddha's time, so there are very interesting suttas, explaining how when Buddha approached a new city, how the city people have behaved. So some are coming and paying, respecting, bowing and doing that. Some are coming somewhat closer and without, kneeling down, so they do a little bowing. Some are simply come closer and just, do a bowing without hands, without doing anjali, maybe just making a kind of bowing. And some actually doesn't even come closer, they simply look at him and then go and sit. Very beautifully explained in the suttas. So it depends. So therefore, till someone's faith is growing, so he may not feel like bowing. He may not feel like coming and respecting. Doesn't matter. So it's not Buddha wants everyone to come and respect. It is not that monks are expecting everyone to come and respect. So it depends. So as the understanding growing, as the faith is growing, you feel like respecting, doesn't matter. That's also fine. It is not that we need to reject someone's respect. So we can accept it. At the same time, now paying respect to the Buddha on the other hand, so it indicates a lot of gratitude we have within ourselves. Because it is not kind of a blind faith or we are afraid of the Buddha, so that is why we pay respect. Rather, so we feel how what a difficult task he has achieved, and what a path that he has revealed, and what a teaching he has explained to the whole world, and how much I am now benefiting from that. So when you are doing that honestly, when you yourself is benefiting like that, then you feel like paying respect, you feel like, respecting, and all these things are happening naturally. And on the other hand, there's another thing. Now it is not only to the Buddha, it is not only to the monks, but even to the elders, in our culture, people are respecting. So why? That is because, now say for example, the parents, so they have done a lot on behalf of us. They have gone through a lot of hardships and they have spent their whole life for us. So we as children, we have a lot of gratitude. And again, we have feeling kind of a respect to them. And then we are paying respect, we are bowing and all these things. That actually inculcate kind of a good mentality within ourselves, because rather than being conceited, here we are trying to respect. We bow down, we surrender. By surrendering, it is not that I am surrendering to a particular person, rather to the good qualities that I am surrendering. Now Buddha represent the culmination of the human qualities, the best qualities. So he is the accomplished one, accomplished in all the necessary good qualities to cross over, and he has done that. And to that qualities now I am paying respect. So when what happen is, actually when you are respecting that, when you are venerating that, so internally you feel happy, you feel lighter, and you are removing your conceit, and you also become more humble, more light-minded, and you are ready to surrender rather than being a kind of egoistic person. So you are ready to accept, you are ready to surrender, you are ready to receive. So these are the things, these are, in a way, it is not to the person that more beneficial that when we are bowing, but to us it is more beneficial. Now when, say for example, when you are bowing to the Buddha, it is not that Buddha is taking any kind of an advantage of that. Buddha is not accumulating any merit from that. But the person who is paying respect, so he is the one getting benefited. Because he is now removing all the conceit he has, he is removing all the different kinds of defilements he has, and now he is ready to surrender, just giving up, abandoning all the different kinds of egoistic ideas. So therefore it has a great impact within ourselves when we are respecting. So therefore, I am not expecting you to bow me, but you got to bow to the Buddha. It also may depend on you. So you can recognize your own qualities and where the Buddha is, what the kind of qualities that Buddha is having, and am I greater than him or am I? So likewise, when we understand where he is, then we feel more, like a little child in front of the Father. That's why, if there is, you can remember, there's a beautiful song in Sinhala, Aukana statue. So that Amaradeva is telling. So in front of the statue, I am like like an ant. So that indicates, it is, so the whole practice is letting go of these egoistic ideas and the ego and I making, mind making. So then we are very much like innocent, beautiful, human. Ultimately that's it. So therefore it's up to you. So these are some good practices coming from the Buddha's teaching, and it has been inculcated even to our the culture, and these are, I feel they are quite valuable, quite useful. Okay, those are the questions we have received or the reports we have received. Anyone else has any question? Yeah.
Asara Swaminatha.
Yeah.
My sitting meditation, I start with breathing.
Uh-huh.
After that, usually I got a body sensation.
Can't hear.
I'm going to the body sensation.
Uh-huh.
After that, normally my body losing, and from
body what happened?
That those
body disappears.
This not completely disappear. Sometimes disappear, and sometimes losing the body.
Right.
After that, that light appear from my forehead. After that, it's going surrounding my body.
I see.
After I said last time in the Nissarana that all the thing appear again. Like my.
Now is it brighter?
Not light.
No, brighter. Not light.
Not light.
Kind of an image.
No,
kind of a shade, kind of a shadow.
My that feeling, the sounds, all the thing appear again. That all the thing, that other thing disappear, and all the that normal way, all the thing appearing. That
Normally,
The-
all the things appear. What did you mean?
Like I'm doing nothing. That sounding again, hearing, and my sensation again. I can normally I can sense like I'm doing nothing.
So you are aware of everything.
Yeah, I'm not concentrating.
Didn't get.
I'm not concentrating. Like I'm not concentrating. Like I'm doing nothing that time.
So many things are happening. Say, bodily feelings are happening, thoughts are happening, sensations are happening, different things are there, but you are simply watching.
Yes.
Is it what you are telling?
Yeah.
Okay. So can you stay in that stage?
Yeah, I can stay, but the problem is when I not doing the meditation also, I can, when I have a calm mind, I'm going to that state. Yeah.
Okay. Now if I ask a kind of a question, now say for example, say you have a house and you are in the middle of the house and say there are 6 doors available and 6 friends are coming and asking you, one door, one person coming and asking you to go and see a film. And you say, no, I can't. Then another person coming and asking you, let's go and participate in a musical show. And you say, no, not right now. Another one is coming and say, I am going to a hotel, can you join with me? You say no. So likewise now all these senses are inviting. If you are in the middle without being bounded by them, is it possible? Now this is something we are getting closer. Various invitations are there to see sights, to hear sounds, to get involved with them, to think about them, to become fascinated about them. So likewise, many possibilities are there, opportunities are there. Now mind prefer to be alone. Mind prefer to be secluded rather than getting involved with them. But they are there. It is not that they completely disappear, but they are there. But you are very much in the middle, not much interested about getting involved with these different things. Now sights are there, sounds are there, sensations are there, thoughts are there, pains are there, different things are there. But mind very much in the middle. Am I correct what you are experiencing?
Yeah.
So just continue, no problem. But if there are thoughts penetrating and if there are, sometimes if you get more thinking, just step back and allow it to go. That is where you couldn't maintain the balance. Because sometimes even though we are talking like this, sometimes certain invitations are very powerful. You get distracted.
It's very boring.
Very boring. Exactly. So you both good. All in the boring trap. Wife is also in the boredom, husband is also in the boredom. Good. Now, how to be in this middle state? Now, this is where, we are used to agitate the mind, as we discussed even yesterday. So what we do is through our senses, we are constantly bombarding the mind. Now, mind has kind of a resistance to participate. Rather, it likes to mind its own business. Without getting participated with all these different things, let me be alone. I don't want to get disturbed. I like my seclusion. So this is a kind of an invitation coming. So now just be and see how long you can bear it. So very much like not passionate, now you are becoming dispassionate, not interested about these things. Different events are happening, different incidents are happening, but you can remain without attached to them, without getting involved to them, without being bombarded by them. You are maintaining kind of a independence. Slowly you can improve that. But while walking, what are you doing?
Walking, I'm try to see the whole body. Normally, when I see, sometimes that there are tightness in body, appearing tightness.
Tightness.
Yeah. After that, sometimes disappearing. I can come again. Likewise,
you do more investigation on them, because now still the thing is, this ability is growing when we have more wisdom, because the more the wisdom we have, more will be the letting go. Simple as that. So if we don't have much wisdom, if we are more ignorant, we do a lot of grasping, we do a lot of holding. But the opposite is true when we are having a thorough understanding, understanding their true nature.
I can see that physical body and the sensational body are separate, likewise.
Different sensations. If you can do a little bit of further investigation, that will pump more kind of a knowledge, more understanding. It's not that book knowledge, rather by observation you are getting some knowledge, some direct touch. Using the direct experience, direct investigation, you are getting more knowledge. That is what we call as the bhavanamaya prajna, the experiential knowledge. So that experiential knowledge is the one allowing the mind to be kind of independent, not grasping, not holding, something like that. So therefore, while walking, if you are capable in the sense, if you are able to sense various feelings, sensations, you can do a little bit more further investigation. Then you can little bit of support that state. When you are sitting, okay, different invitations are there, still you are now confident, yes, I can just be. I don't need to participate in any of these requests. I can maintain my seclusion.
Sometimes I am feeling I am walking in one place. I don't know it's a
one place.
Yeah, but I don't know it's I am imagining or not.
Walking in a one place.
Like. Yeah, that I am walking. Others also all going from. I don't know. It's my imagination or not.
I feel all right, because now when we are walking, previously we have one kind of perceptions. So I am walking, I am in left side, I am on right side. So likewise we have all these conventional terms. But when we are continuing, so we may lose all these different things. Not some walking is happening and you don't know who you are. You don't know to which direction you are walking. And likewise certain changes can happen. So we lose all the typical conventions. Left, right, I am so and so, this is right, this is wrong, or rather say this is east direction, this is west direction, and different, we have that typical terminology. So after some time you may lose that, but certain sensations are there. So, it is all right to lose all these conventions after some time, but still some knowledge is there, some knowing is there, and you need to investigate what is happening to those knowings, those feelings, those sensations. Those sensations, now you don't need to attach with the label. Label is not important. So now you are losing all the labels. You don't know who you are, you don't know where you are, you don't know what's the time it is, you don't know to which direction you are walking, whether it is the left foot or right foot, doesn't matter. But some sensation is there, some feeling is there, some maybe even thought is there. Doesn't matter. Now you are looking at what is happening to them, how a thought is coming, how a sensation is coming, how a feeling is coming. If you can do it, excellent, no problem. That's all, no?
Yes,
yeah. So, shall we wind up then? Anything else? Okay, today we have received a couple of Punyanumodana. Today being the birthday of Hasita Buddhika Jayasingha, who resides overseas, wishes to have this alms giving for the venerable priests and the others who meditate at this meditation center. Appreciate the opportunity given for the puja. අද දිනට 41 වන ජන්මදිනය සමරන හසිත බුද්ධික ජයසිංහට නිරෝගී වාසනාවන්ත අනාගතයකට සුබ පැතීම වෙනුවෙන් මෙම දානමය පුණ්‍ය කර්මයේ සෝදානම් කර පූජා කරන ලදී. Then the next one. අද දින හීල් දාණය මුදිතා සෙනවිරත්න විසින් මින් වසරකට පෙර මිය ගිය W.W. වින්සන් මෙන්ඩිස් පියාණන්ට පින් පිණිස ඊයේ රාත්‍රියේ පරලෝ සැපත් යසසීලී අමරසිංහ මහත්මියට පින් පිණිස පවුලේ මිය ගිය සියලු ඥාති මිත්‍රාදීන්ට පින් පිණිස. Then another one. David Ford of Southbridge, Christchurch, New Zealand. He passed away on the 17th of March, and to him also is expected to pass merits. So we have spent fair amount of time here. Most of you are spending almost 3 days, and many were participating in the daily basis, and most of us have accumulated a fair amount of merits by participating in the Dhamma discussions and participating in Dhamma sermons and practicing to the best of our ability. All the merits that we have accumulated will pass to all these past relatives and to the celestial beings and whoever in need of merits. And again we wish these merits help us also to attain path, fruition, Nibbana. While keeping these good wishes in our mind, let's recite the traditional verses. Ettavata hehi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Ettavata hehi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Ettavata hehi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Akasattha ca bummattha devanaga mahiddika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkhantu sasanang. Akasattha ca bummattha devanaga mahiddika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkhantu desanang. Akasattha ca bummattha devanaga mahiddika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkhantu mamparang. Idang vo ñātīnaṁ hotu sukita hontu ñātayo. Idang vo ñātīnaṁ hotu sukita hontu ñātayo. Idang vo ñātīnaṁ hotu sukita hontu ñātayo. Imina punya kammena māme bāla samāgamo satang samāgamo hotu yāva nibbāna pattiyā. Imina punya kammena māme bāla samāgamo satang samāgamo hotu yāva nibbāna pattiyā. Imina punya kammena māme bāla samāgamo satang samāgamo hotu yāva nibbāna pattiyā. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.